I believe that millions of white-collar workers are going to lose their jobs in the next 12 to 18 months due to AI. The result of this is going to be an ever more extreme winner-take-all economy where the top 20% or so are able to thrive, and then the bottom 80% are left behind.
This is one of the most dramatic restructurings that we have seen in tech. Block cutting 40% of its staff of 10,000, and CEO Jack Dorsey is directly attributing the move to AI.
Within 5 to 10 years, if I want to continue down the traditional 9-to-5 path, I will be out of a job. I will not be able to climb the corporate ladder like people from my parents' generation once did.
A lot of people are about to be obsolete out here. The reality of the situation is when AI is taking your job, these 4,000 people that got cut, they still got mortgages to pay. They still got families to feed. They still got student loans that they got to tackle. They still got consumer debt that's on their neck, causing pressure.
Work isn't just a paycheck. It's identity, it's community, it's purpose. If AI takes the repeatable, the analytical, the routine, what's left for us?
It doesn't matter what your current job is. Everyone is feeling the weight of job loss through AI. Jobs do more than just provide a living. They provide identity, community, and a sense of mission. But when your role gets taken from you because of AI, identity and belonging start to feel foreign. And sometimes you may feel like you've lost them. Let's get straight into it.
I am terribly sad to record this. I believe that millions of white-collar workers are going to lose their jobs in the next 12 to 18 months due to AI. AI is now able to do the work of a very, very smart human in minutes or even seconds. This is going to displace marketers, coders, designers, lawyers, accountants, call center workers, you name it. The result of this is going to be an ever more extreme winner-take-all economy where the top 20% or so are able to thrive, and then the bottom 80% are left behind. And when people lose their jobs, it affects dry cleaners, dog walkers, hairstylists, restaurants, all local businesses that see less people who are able to spend. Personal bankruptcies are going to surge. College graduates are going to have a very difficult time finding entry-level jobs. People are going to be very, very angry by the fact that this path to middle class status and social mobility is going to be broken. We should be doing much, much more, including a universal basic income. The AI job apocalypse is real and it's underway right now.
WWW Andrew Yang, that man is 100% correct with every single statement that he just made. AI affects everything. First thing is this, let's tackle this, the entry job market. When you're fresh out of college, for me personally, I believe that if you're fresh out of college, your experience is the 4 years of college work that you put in, the 4 or 5 years or however long it took for you to get your bachelor's degree and things of that nature. That is your experience. Unfortunately, a lot of people are applying to jobs and they're being told that they need X amount of experience to be able to attain this job, 2-3 years of working experience right outside of college. Now think about that. Right outside of college, you need experience. AI is coming in and taking entry level roles. Like think about it like a data entry, things that require Excel sheets, very low level kind of like administrative work, button pushing, sending emails, editing, things that are necessary for entry level are going to be replaced by AI. You even think about like your typical fast food job right now. When you go into like a McDonald's, for example, a lot of the times you're not talking to a cashier anymore. The cashier just gives you your food now, or whoever is working in the back. You go in there and you see a big old kiosk that essentially says, hey, order yourself and then your food will be prepared. Whereas back then we used to have like a bunch of cashiers at these places at a time, and now they're being replaced by you can place orders yourself. So there's less people working in those particular environments. The entry job market for everyone, it's looking slow because AI is taking all those roles. And he mentioned a bunch of different professions as well. He mentioned lawyers. He mentioned people who do a lot of like work with words or like marketers, a lot of knowledge work, essentially. All that stuff is going to be stripped away. And it's currently happening right now. I remember one time I literally went to Taco Bell to go pick up an order, and I had to go through the drive-through. And when I went to the drive-through, a robot essentially was talking to me. It was like, hey, what are you here for? I let him know that I was here to pick up an order. Then it asked me, what is the name of the order? And then I gave them the name of the order. They told me how much it total was, and to head over to the window, and your order will be ready for you. I'm sitting here, I'm like, I did not even interact with not one human being the only time I interacted with a human being was when I received my food. But other than that, the whole interaction took place with an AI bot. One of the things that I really love about Andrew Yang is that when he was running for president, he was so real. Like, he focused on the realities, like, hey, technology is going to create this space where, yes, technology is good, but it's going to disrupt a lot of different workforces, like truckers. That was one of the biggest things that he was adamant about. Like, yo, we got to make sure that people have jobs. We have to make sure that there's some sort of like universal stipend for people who need to make sure that their daily needs are met, because the job market is looking kind of strange right now. And he was one of those major proponents of, like, he looked at it like very philosophically and psychologically, like, yo, people have a purpose that they need to serve, and the way the world is going and how minuscule jobs are going to be, because a lot of these roles are going to be taken by AI, something has to change. Unfortunately, my man dropped out of the race, but for me, he was one of the more sound people. And to be able to hear this kind of information from him within the next 12 months, a majority of jobs are going to be taken by AI. Listen, it's already happening right now. People is getting axed left and right. There's some major news that literally happened a few days ago, and we're going to be covering it. And I also have an article to showcase you guys. So let's move on to the next video.
This is one of the most dramatic restructurings that we have seen in tech. Block cutting 40% of its staff of 10,000, and CEO Jack Dorsey is directly attributing the move to AI. On the earnings call last night, he called this a fundamental shift in how you build and run a company.
Intelligence tools have changed what it means to build and run a company. We're already seeing it internally. A significantly smaller team using the tools we're building can do more and do it better. And intelligence tool capabilities are compounding faster every single week. I don't think we're early to this realization. I think most companies are late. Within the next year, I believe the majority of companies will reach the same conclusion and make similar structural changes. I'd rather get there honestly and on our own terms than be forced into it reactively.
Investors bought into that message immediately. The stock jumped after hours. It's still up around 16% right now, even though the quarter itself was mostly in line. And that reaction was helped by the fact that Block is still growing from a fundamentally solid position. Gross profit and Cash App both surged. Full year profit guidance beat estimates. So investors are getting the margin expansion that they wanted. But what really stands out here is that you don't usually see cuts this deep from a company that's already profitable and still putting up healthy growth. And that's exactly why this lines up so closely with Citrini's thesis. AI-driven headcount reductions are likely to show up first at strong software companies, not distressed ones, because those are the businesses where the tools are actually mature enough to start replacing work at scale.
Now, you guys are hearing it for yourself. The CEO of Block literally chopped off 4,000 people from his company, and he said he didn't want to do it reactively. He said he looked at the state of the world, the state of AI, the state of how things are within AI integration in businesses, in companies, and this man is literally like, hey, respectfully, bro, we're gonna get rid of a whole lot of people. But what is very surprising about this is my man cut out 4,000 people, and then the stock price of Block went up. That's very interesting. 4,000 people got cut off, but money was made, profit was made, growth was made. There was a surge in the stock price. A lot of the people within those roles were people who probably got hired on when they were doing mad hiring back in 2020, 2021. Like, tech companies were hiring like crazy to be able to capitalize on major growth. But now we're at this point where it's a little bit weird. Think about it. A company just laid off 4,000 people, and guess what? Their stock price went up. Now, he could have cut them off because of shareholder value. He could have done it because it's something that he was going to be doing in the future anyway. Why not just be proactive about it right now? That's what he said. He said he doesn't want to be reactive with making these kinds of decisions. But it's so crazy when big companies are moving like this. What happens to the 4,000 people who lost their job? Like, what happens to these people? do they just go to a different company? Do they have to go re-up on their skills? Do they have to go put themselves in a position where they get skills that keep them in the market, that make sure that they're not obsolete out here? Because people's lives is at stake right now. And if AI is going to be this major, amazing thing that gives people jobs and gives people more access, it needs to start looking like it, because it's not the case. A lot of these companies are literally using AI to get more funding and to cut out the so-called bloat right now, which is like middle management roles or roles that can be done by the AI tools, which is perfectly fine. But yo, people's identities and lives are on the line. What happens to these people? AI does bring in a lot of jobs. Like, for example, like data centers. AI utilizes a whole lot of data centers. When a data center is being built for AI purposes, yes, it creates jobs, but what about when the data center is done? When the data center is done being built, then what happens? All those people get axed. You get chopped off, and then you got to rinse and repeat and go find something else. It's very difficult in this day and age to find roles that you can't really be axed out of, other than like a doctor or some kind of anyone in the medical field to a certain extent. And this is one more story that I'm going to let you guys know really quickly, and then we're going to move on to the next video. But I remember one time when I was working at Apple, I was helping a surgeon upgrade his iPhone and things of that nature. And we were having a conversation, and I asked him, hey, are you going to be traveling? What kind of work are you going to be getting into within the next few days or few weeks? This man looked at me and said, yeah, I have a surgery tomorrow somewhere in South America. I think he said either Venezuela or Colombia. I was like, oh, that's super dope. Are you going to like take a plane out there to do the surgery? He said no. He said, I'm gonna go up to New York. I'm gonna strap into this like robotic tool, some kind of like computer mechanism that they have, and I'm gonna be conducting the surgery in New York for somebody who's in Venezuela or Colombia. And mind you, I was absolutely mind blown. And you know what this man said to me? He said the robot, he's more accurate than me, but I still need to be there to operate on the surgery. He's gonna make way less mistakes than me, the robot. And this is what the surgeon told me. So I'm sitting here and I'm like, hey, if surgeons is out here in a space where technology is that deep to the point where they can do surgeries across the nation, I can only imagine what the future looks like for AI, and for the people that do not have skills that could put them in a position where they cannot be replaced. The future is looking very different. It's looking very different. It's looking like you might have to be self-employed, or have a job and self-employment, or have a business and a job, or have a job and self-employment. There's gonna have to be a different way for things to operate out here, because this K economy is not a game. The people who got it are getting more. People who don't got it are receiving less, and things are getting taken away from them. Good old K economy. Let's move on to the next video.
So if you don't believe that AI is going to eventually take your job, I want you to take a look at this and what happened last week. So this gentleman below is Jack Dorsey. He's the CEO of a fintech company named Block. They are based in San Francisco. So if you don't know who Block is, they own Cash App and the popular POS system, point of sale system called Square. And just within the past couple of days, they laid off 4,000 employees out of their 10,000 total, 40% of their entire workforce, because of AI. And this individual predicts that many other companies, as AI systems and models continue to develop and become more enhanced, that more companies are going to continue to lay off individuals because of AI. This is a growing trend, and you can't blame companies for wanting to do this. Why would I want to pay a group of employees wages, benefits, insurance, etc., when I can just have AI machining do the job for me and do it much better and much more accurately? I said this in my previous video. Within 5 to 10 years, if I want to continue down the traditional 9-to-5 path, I will be out of a job. I will not be able to climb the corporate ladder like people from my parents' generation once did. So if you're not able to adapt, develop new skills, learn how to make money outside of your 9-to-5, you are going to get left behind. Who knows what the world is going to look like within 5 to 10 years? AI is going to create new job opportunities that didn't exist before AI. That is for sure. However, you have to critically look at your job right now and think, can AI do a better job of doing this role than me? And if the answer is yes, you have to start right now looking at other alternatives or opportunities to make money. I'm not trying to do any fear mongering or anything of the sort, but I already know people in real life that have already been impacted by AI. Like, they've been laid off from their job and they cannot find work.
Man, that boy is spitting some truth. Some truth. That boy literally said you're going to have to develop your skills. Yes, the future is looking a little bleak for a lot of people. My man even said himself, he's not trying to fear monger. Guys, there is no fear mongering happening here. Just because your particular industry did not get absolutely shafted by AI yet, it doesn't mean that it's not. It's coming. It's coming for everybody. It's going to be a collective swing for every role. All lawyers, all engineers, all salespeople, all business people, all marketers, all copywriters, anyone in knowledge, work, finance, high-level algorithm work. Hey, all jobs are up for grabs. My man even said himself, you really got to start developing new skills. Developing new skills is going to be like one of the biggest things moving forward, because your ability to pivot in the future is going to be so critical. That's why it's so important to have like a foundational understanding of like marketing, of sales, of philosophy, of psychology, of economics, of these things, because then you can find cool little intersections of interest that you can go and explore so that you don't become obsolete out here. A lot of people are about to be obsolete out here, and that's not good, because it's not like we got a UBI in place, we got a universal basic income in place. No, we do not have any of that right now. We don't. They come in like waves. It needs to be consistent for people, because the reality of the situation is when AI is taking your job, these 4,000 people that got cut, they still got mortgages to pay, they still got families to feed, they still got student loans that they got to tackle, they still got consumer debt that's on their neck, causing pressure. AI is literally here for everything, And I'm gonna let you guys know something. This is what AI can now replace. This human to human interaction, me allowing my passion to fall through, my emotions to fall through. AI could never replace that. The fact that I'm willing to dive a little bit deeper and have a more understanding, a little bit more perspective to share and to offer to another human being, that stuff is invaluable. It is invaluable. The transference of emotion, of humanity is invaluable, guys. Never, ever, ever forget that. Never forget that. But yeah, AI is definitely coming for your job. Even when you go to a grocery store right now, me and my wife recently went to the grocery store, one of our grocery stores that we go to all the time, and they literally expanded self-checkout. It went from like 8 self-checkout registers to like 16. They done doubled it, and they only have one person monitoring everything just to ensure that, you know, in case you scan wrong and you need a little bit of help, it's there for you. But even at that point, that person, whenever I go to self-checkout, they're not really doing much anyway. Me and my wife, we're usually relatively like efficient with getting our items scanned, and then we out the door. Absolutely absurd. Let's get on to the next video.
Hi, I'm Sophia, a student at Stanford, and I just learned something today that I can't stop thinking about. Block, the company behind Cash App and Square, just laid off 4,000 people. That's 40% of their workforce. The CEO, Jack Dorsey, said it straight up. It's because of AI. Not because the business is failing. Actually, the stock jumped 24% after the announcement. He said a smaller team using AI can do more. And then he warned that most companies are going to do the same thing within the next year. So I keep asking myself, what does this mean for belonging? Work isn't just a paycheck. It's identity, it's community, it's purpose. If AI takes the repeatable, the analytical, the routine, what's left for us? I think it's the deeply human stuff. Caregiving, teaching, mentoring, creative work, jobs that require presence, empathy, and real human connection. What kind of person do you want to be in an economy that no longer requires you to think like a machine? Maybe that's an opportunity to build a world where work can mean something more than output, where humans do the things only humans can. We just have to decide what that is before someone else decides for us.
Sophia eloquently put. Guys, we just talked about this for the last clip. Human connection is going to be pivotal. It's going to be absolutely pivotal moving forward. Even now when I go on TikTok, it's a lot of like, when I'm looking at TikTok shorts or YouTube shorts, it's a lot of just AI created content. And a lot of videos nowadays are like people creating YouTube channels or TikTok channels completely ran by AI. And I'm like, honestly, the information in these videos is very good. I understand the purpose of it, but to be quite frank with you, I would rather have another human being deliver information, deliver value to me. It's just how I am. I would rather just another true, real, raw human being share their emotions with me, emote their passion with me based on whatever topic they're talking about. But things are gonna look very different. This future is going to look very different. And she mentioned something very important about work, your identity, your community. There's a sense of like belonging that you get when you go to work. And that's the case, whether you're sipping the corporate Kool-Aid or not, when you go there, a piece of you feels safe. A piece of you feels like you have an identity. Oh, I'm good at this job. I'm competent. That's a good feeling to have. Work is critical because when you don't work, and I know what it's like to not have a job for a long period of time, it sucks because naturally you want something to do. You want to work naturally. You want to become good at something naturally. You want to become competent at something naturally. One of the things that I focus on heavily, guys, is the human experience in the sense of having a full, whole life. A lot of it comes down to what we do with our money and what we do for work. All these things are so critically important because you don't want to wake up with a false identity. You waking up and doing a work that you don't necessarily align with. For a lot of people, they might have to do that because of what's happening with AI. They're going to be forced to pivot into things that they weren't naturally equipped for anyway, or didn't have a natural inclination towards anyway. And that stuff could cause a lot of heartache for people. My man had 10,000 employees, Jack Dorsey, the CEO of Block. 10,000 employees. He let go of 4,000. That means my man is down to 6,000 left. That's 4,000 different salaries. Of course, the stock is going to surge up that way. All that money's right back into the company. They don't have to give out health insurance, PTO, paid leave. They don't have to give out any wages or salaries or anything like that. That's always advantageous for the companies. What do the people who lose these jobs, what do they have to do now in order to hit that next level, or in order to continue to climb corporate ladder, or continue to develop their skills in their current role and things of that nature? Entry-level jobs are not going to exist anymore. You're going to have had 5 to 10 years of experience and moving forward truthfully, because data entry roles, AI can take care of that. A lot of knowledge work, AI is taking care of that. Even consulting, AI is taking care of that. Guys, really quickly, let's look at this article to just sum everything up. I wanted to bring this up to you guys because there are a couple of things on here that you have to consider moving into this new economy that we're heading into. Block's layoff reveal the dark side of the AI economy. And check out these few talking points. Block's layoff may herald a major AI-driven workforce reduction. We're currently seeing that right now. Jack Dorsey said AI productivity made thousands of roles unnecessary, signaling a structural shift in how companies operate. So a lot of the roles that AI is currently doing right now, it's not necessary for a human being to even take on the role and even do the role. That's absolutely ridiculous. AI layoffs could spread rapidly across the knowledge economy. If competitors match Block's cost reductions, industries like finance, consulting, and software may follow. Now think about it, like you're a financial advisor. I remember very early on in my career, it was one of the paths that I wanted to go down, but I just wasn't passionate enough about it. A lot of the work done in finance is sharing information. It's sharing knowledge. I could go on Grok and ask, hey, like, tell me about how to purchase a home. What is debt to income ratio? What is whatever it is regarding finances? I can simply ask Grok that certain questions and I can get all the information that I need. And I could even tailor and customize a unique experience for myself based on my situation. The next one is consulting. Consulting, hey, I'm sorry, I'm gonna be real with you guys. Consulting should have been gone a long time ago, because let's be real here. What is really even consulting? It's just people giving you advice. For hundreds of thousands of dollars, you're getting advice. And then they pull up with a nice little slide deck. They put a nice colorway on the slide deck and give you information, basic business information, to be quite frank with you guys. The information is not that nuanced, talking about expert knowledge. Listen, if you're a business owner, you are the expert because you're in it day to day. You're in the field day to day. Ain't no consultant about to come up into your business and tell you what to do to quadruple your growth. No, keep doing what you're doing and better your product, better your environment, better your customer service, better your product offerings, upgrade your location. These are the things that you need to do. Consulting, I personally believe that stuff needs to go, to be quite frank with you guys. And then software may follow. I have a friend of mine, he's a software engineer. He literally said, I use AI to help me code and it does it way quicker than me and at some points better. My job is to ensure, essentially an overseer, to make sure that things happen the way that they're supposed to happen. The next thing that they said here, the result could be a paradoxical economy. Pay close attention to this. Stocks and GDP may rise from AI productivity, even as unemployment climbs and labor's share of income fall. Block literally got rid of 4,000 people and their stock went up. Yes, the company's performing better in terms of stock and gross domestic product. Yes, but guess what? Unemployment just went up. Companies doing well, money's being made, things are being done, there's productivity, but guess what? Unemployment also rises. Now that's a strange paradox. And then I just want to just really quickly just go over the quote that the CEO himself said. He said plainly and with apparent genuine conviction that AI had made thousands of his employees unnecessary, and that within a year, most CEOs would arrive at the same conclusion. I'd rather get there honestly and on our own terms, he wrote, than be forced into it reactively. So it seems like he made a proactive decision for the company, a proactive decision that cost 4,000 people their jobs. But he said he doesn't want to be reactive about it because maybe down the line, he would have probably cut out 60% of the workforce. At least he did a major chunk right now for whatever it's worth. Absolutely absurd. Guys, this is just the state of the world that we live in right now. If you're currently in a role that seems like it can be replaced by AI, your best bet is to right now start thinking about how you're going to pivot and start thinking about how you're going to position yourself so that you can be valuable, so that you can be lucrative sometime in the future, because that's just what the case is. This is major. This is major information. This is major news because Block owns Cash App. I know a lot of you guys use Cash App. Block owns the Square point of sale system, the POS system. When you go to any restaurant, you're probably using Square to complete your transactions. And one last tidbit that I want to leave you guys with. I remember during Black Friday, there was like anywhere between 30 to $50 billion made during Black Friday and Cyber Monday. And guess what? About 29% of those transactions, those final sales, was completed by AI bots. Think about that. Even the AI is doing the shopping for you. You're not even doing it. You're not even doing it anymore. So guys, the future's looking a little bleak. I'm not coming on here to only showcase what's going wrong. It's because when things are going right, we lose our ability to maintain our perspective. When things are going right, you have to be even more attentive. When things are going wrong or things are not going in your favor, or in this case, in the nation of America, even in the world, the global world, things are not going well because people are getting axed out of their roles. I want people to be prepared and to have the awareness that they need so that they can use their knowledge, wisdom, and understanding and their discernment to position themselves so that they can have the best future and become the best versions of themselves within this economy, within our nation. There's so many things that's in our way of becoming who we're truly supposed to become so that we can serve the people that we need to serve, so that we can provide value in this world and have a sense of fulfillment while doing it. There's so many things in the way, and my job is to come here, fluff through it all, showcase it to you guys so that we can make better decisions moving forward. But a lot of this stuff is not even in our control. AI is AI is AI. It is what it is. We just have to accept it, be ready, and put ourselves in advantageous positions. But listen, guys, that's it for me. Let me know what you all think. This economy is absolutely out of control. And sometimes AI will take your job and you will need to transition. But right now, the transitional tools are looking absolutely bleak. In the gig economy, something that used to be so pivotal for people's future success or transitional success into their next phase of life is becoming absolutely obsolete right now. This video will go over that. Let me know what you guys think. I'm gonna catch you guys real soon. Y'all stay cool, cozy, righteous out here. Odens out.